is OD.
The West is deep, definitely.
The West was deep.
Yeah. It's always been deep.
The West is the NBA now. Like, God damn.
So.
Bruh.
Hey, I'm good where I'm at. You can call the East like all you want. Just know that the Toronto Raptors are champions that came from the East, and they did lose their best player. However,
they're done.
My Philadelphia 76ers and Milwaukee, what you gonna get into later? But those are legit threats.
I don't have any reason to talk about either of those teams.
Oh, that's fine. I take all the time. You can be quiet.
What point is there to talk about Milwaukee? What did they do?
I'm talking about projections for the season. So we still got to make projections on it. Just because they ain't do really nothing in free agency, they still had like losses and whatnot. It still affects their team. But anyways, back on Brooklyn though. Like obviously, I don't think they're going to be competitive this year, but next year, do you
think they'll be competitive?
This year, no. Like for a championship, no.
It's the East.
Right.
It's possible.
Okay.
East trash.
So would you think they'll beat like a Milwaukee or a Philadelphia team?
Not 7 games.
Right. Or even like Indiana when Oladipo come back.
I don't know.
I
don't know. What did Indiana do? Did they do something?
Yeah, Indiana had a nice pickup with Malcolm Brogdon. And then they also traded
they
for
did that signing trade.
Ty Warren.
TJ Warren, that is right.
But yeah, TJ Warren, excuse me. But it's kind of funny how like the whole time it was just like the New York Knicks are clearing all the cap space and they're planning to sign Kyrie and KD and they're going to rebirth
everybody
the New York Knicks franchise and they're going to draft Zion #1 and literally like none of it happened.
Yo, not one good
none
thing
of it happened. Literally nothing happened right for them.
I mean, they still got a Duke player, so shout out to New York. But outside of that,
that shit is crazy.
Their only marquee free agent was Julius Randle, who people cannot keep shitting on Julius Randle like that. Obviously, it's because of the magnitude of what New York was expecting versus what they got. But you can't act like Julius Randle didn't have a great season last year.
Yeah, Julius Randle a baller
for a basement team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
if you could have Julius Randle as like your third option, that's solid.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that
that's not a bad deal too. 3 for 63. That's 21 a year, but it's only 3 years, and that's good.
He's worth the money.
Yeah.
It just sucks that he has to go to New York and kind of be a part of that terrible franchise. A lot of it was saying that like what turned off a lot of free agents was James Dolan, the owner. It's saying like a lot of players didn't want to play for such a fucking decrepit owner.
Yeah, he's super bum.
That shit is crazy, man.
Better not say it around him. No, he can't go to his games no more.
Did you see the conspiracy that I heard it on the Bill Simmons podcast, I believe. They said that DeAndre Jordan, when he got traded to New York, they was originally going to cut him so that way he can go sign with a playoff contender.
Yeah.
And they said that he didn't want to get cut. He wanted to stay with the New York team and, kind of build up the culture or whatever. But they said that Kevin Durant used DeAndre Jordan as like a mole in that franchise to see like how they operate and what's going on. And then they said that DeAndre Jordan gave Kevin Durant the thumbs down. So that's why him and Kyrie went to Brooklyn. And then that's why they took less money so that way they could sign DeAndre for his job.
Oh, wow.
I thought that was the funniest shit. I was like, yo, that would be some type like New York Knicks shit. I thought that was funny as fuck.
That would be insane.
Yeah, but shout out to Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn, they got some relevancy again. But it kind of sucks that they did part away with D'Angelo Russell after he had an all-star breakout season for them. But at the same time, you get a chance to sign Kyrie and KD. You kind of don't hesitate at that one there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Brooklyn, big signing for them.
Good.
Yeah, that boy real good.
And
then it also depends on how KD comes back from his injury.
And one other thing about Kyrie too that I'm not sure you knew about him. He's a hashtag Blue Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, full facts.
Finally, Kyrie is able to leave from Boston, and it just never really seemed like that was a good pairing for them. Ever since he got traded to them, like it was always projected to be better. Like Boston was one of those teams that they was supposed to be an East powerhouse for years to come with Kyrie and then Tatum emergence and Jaylen Brown and then Al Horford and then fucking they're supposed to trade Brown and Tatum for AD, and then that's supposed to be the new big two. And that shit just kind of completely imploded. However,
yeah, them injuries just really did them boys in.
Yeah, the Gordon Hayward signing.
Whatever. They got Kemba now.
Yeah, Kemba Walker.
They lost everybody else. They lost all of them so far. I don't think Terry signed anywhere. Did he?
Terry Rozier?
Yeah, did
he? Yeah, he went to New Orleans or Charlotte.
Oh, he did go to Charlotte?
Yeah, 3 years, like $56 million, $58
I seen something about it, but I wasn't sure if that went through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, so they lost everybody then.
Mm-hmm.
They lost the Morris dude. They lost him. They lost Horford. They lost Kyrie. All they brought back was Kemba, but I mean they still that's like it's such a good. That's still a good starting four. I mean, not because now they can start Jaylen Brown. They can start Gordon Hayward again. After a full summer of chilling out, he should be back. I mean, think about it. I don't know who's starting at center for them, but that's a good four.
They signed Enes Kanter.
I like Ennis. Ennis can get you 15 and 12.
Ennis is definitely a double-double.
Ennis can get you 15 and 12.
But I fucking love when they signed him because now I'm like, damn, against Boston and B averaging 35. Is Enes Kanter? No Al Horford no more? Yes. Pencil that in 3 wins. But I like the Kemba pickup for him. I think he's the perfect replacement for Kyrie. Not necessarily the locker room trouble that allegedly Kyrie was causing with Boston. Saying he didn't really get along with the players and kind of wanted more respect from them that they weren't getting.
That's right. I'm a champion, bitch.
But
recognize.
And then they're saying like Boston players is like, yo, man, we almost made it to the finals without you. Like, who the fuck is you? So I can kind of see it on both ends where Kyrie, I got the experience. I won a championship. I hit one of the biggest shots ever in NBA Finals history. But then at the same time, I can see the players like, okay, cool. But nigga, you had LeBron on your team. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we almost beat LeBron,
right?
Even though we didn't.
Definitely didn't. So yeah, Boston, I still think they'll be a relevant team. I still think they'll, give you 48, 50 wins or 45, 48 wins. Be a top 4 seed in the East, top 4 or 5 seed in the East. So we'll see how that works out. The new Kemba signing and see how he meshes with the players. And then hopefully Tatum can take a step forward for them. Well, obviously I'm a Sixers fan, so hopefully not, but for his sake, kind of regress. But I think that was more because of how, like, the style of play and then them trying to reintegrate Hayward into that lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Tatum will bounce back from a disappointing sophomore season. Same thing with Brown.
Do you think that D'Angelo Russell move was good?
Yeah. So the Warriors, man, that's a fucking shrewd organization. Like, just when you think it's like they're done, they just go out and get a fucking all-star level guard, and they're still relevant in the West.
Not all-star level. He was an all-star. Yeah. Like he's an all-star guard. Like, right. That boy good. And he only 23.
Yeah, young talent. Got him a 4-year max deal. Was 4 years for 117. And everybody that's just writing off the Warriors, you can't do that no more. Like, they're still a playoff team. Even with Steph Curry and Draymond, like, regular season Steph is something serious. It's when playoff Steph comes around is where he kind of gets shaky. But regular season Steph, I mean, he's a 2-time MVP, consecutive MVP. And then Draymond is still one of the best two-way players in this league as well.
Sorry, he's a what?
One of the best two-way players in this league as well.
Two-way what way?
Nigga, two-way player.
You know, two-way players score and defend.
No, two-way players are good on offense and good on defense. He's a very good defensive player, and then he's a
great defensive player.
Right. And then he runs the team on offense. He passes the ball.
He's an average offensive player.
He's still a two-way player.
He's
still one of the top two-way players.
I don't think anybody will call him a two-way player.
Okay, that's fine. But anyways, they still got those 2 all-stars there. You add in a D'Angelo Russell. Klay Thompson will probably come back later the year, hopefully around March, I would say. They can fuck around and get healthy. That's going to be a dangerous team in the playoffs, man. What you think?
Yeah. They got a chance to be a 7 seed. See us in the first round. After that trade, and we get Russell Westbrook, and then it's Russ and Harden versus the world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gonna get revenge. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the report now. The Houston is inquiring about Westbrook ever since the Paul George trade. Miami is inquiring about him. You would want Westbrook on your team?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Supermax and all. Crazy ass attitude and all.
Yeah.
Ball dominant player.
You see what we're giving Chris Paul? I don't give a damn.
Yeah, that is a fact.
I'll take it to a walking triple double. Yeah.
So what trade would you do? Like just Chris Paul and him straight up?
No.
How would you make it work?
I don't know if the numbers will work. They sitting here talking about it's gonna be hard. Our path would probably be one of the hardest to get them because we'd have to find a third team for some reason. Which I don't know how that works, but if I was able to just do a straight up trade between the two and not worry about the cap shit, then I would just do Chris Paul, Gordon, Capella, first round pick, probably next year unprotected or some shit like that. For Russ, Adams, and then just give me a second round pick in like 3 years. I mean, I don't even need two of them. I just need one in like 3 years.
But do you think he would fit into the style of play that D'Antoni wants?
Yes. He's freaking Russell Westbrook. Yes.
What does that mean?
Look at him. He's a killer. All right? That's all that matters.
Okay, so Houston's style of play, correct me if I'm wrong, is pretty much like shoot a three or get a layup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The nigga can't shoot.
He can shoot.
He's just terrible shooter.
No, he can shoot.
He has the ability to shoot the ball, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go in.
All right, look, you see, this is where these advanced analytics pop in, all right?
Nigga, those is regular stats.
All right. He is not good at a created off the dribble 3-point shot. As a set 3-point shooter, he's actually not bad. I think when I was reading it, I think it said he shot 35% on set shots or something like that, which you would get a lot of opportunities for. Not to mention, you got to remember too, them two knew each other in high school. I think they went to high school together, if I'm not mistaken.
Him and her?
Yeah. So the chemistry is there. I ain't worried about that at all. I am not worried about. And if we're gonna replace an alpha in Chris Paul, we gotta bring in an alpha in Russell Westbrook. Been saying this shit ever since the dude been in the league. He's the leader of his fucking teams, and Harden is not a leader of his fucking team. He is a solid beta characteristic. That's just who he is. Like, we need an alpha. So yeah, if we're gonna lose Chris Paul, we need to bring in an alpha. And yeah, I'm perfectly fine with having Russ. Oh yeah, and Russ, what? And then especially when Russ figured out last year, oh yeah, clearly I need to leave the shooting to the nigga that can shoot. And then you see what happened last year. My man got third in MVP votes. What? And now you're gonna sit here and tell me I got somebody that could wild the fuck out and get 10 dimes a game? What? Oh my god. Pick and roll central. Man, can you imagine them two running the pick and roll together? It'd be wild.
Who's that? Westbrook and Harden?
Yep.
Harden gonna set a screen?
Yep.
I don't see that happening,
bruh.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. See what I did there?
Nah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I appreciate your positivity on that one. I don't see how that shit works.
A lot of people said they couldn't see Chris Paul and James Harden working, and it worked. A lot of people thought that Chris Bosh wouldn't work with the big three in Miami, and it worked.
So hold on, how are you looking at it then? Are you looking at it as in it'll get you a lot of wins and get you a high playoff seeding, or are you looking at it as in championship aspirations?
Because I'm looking at it as this. Fuck all that bullshit. I'm looking at it as this. These two knew each other for over 20 years. At least I'm going to assume so. I'm not sure if that math on them ages is correct. Could be like 15 years. These motherfuckers knew each other for goddamn long ass time. They don't play with each other already. They already know each other's kings and perks. If you ever watch them two play each other, it's never bad blood between them two. Them two is cool.